So the year 2018 started off with us looking at the Caravan and Motorhome show in Manchester, trying to find inspiring interiors for our current van, the T6 VW Transporter. We'd had it a few months, but we'd just really not gelled with the interior, so we were looking for inspiration about something we can change it to. This is the interior, and we just found it really compact. It didn't work for us, everything was all over the place. And we've been used to caravans and things like that, so when you got moisture on the inside, it just didn't feel great. February came, and at this time of the year, we celebrate our wedding anniversary. Happy wedding anniversary, John and Mandy. Thank you, everybody. We got on a plane, and we went to Amsterdam. We really, really, really love Amsterdam. And in fact, we've probably been there about 5 times now over the past 10 years or so. But we normally just go for photography and the food and the beer and, you know, sightseeing and stuff like that. So again, at this time of the year, in 2018, we're just enjoying ourselves on holiday. We're not thinking about vlogging what we're doing or recording anything or anything like that. It's just us enjoying ourselves, taking pictures, and generally thinking about what we're going to do when we get back with the camper van. Are we going to do this? Are we going to sell it? Are we going to change the interior? But ultimately, you know, drinking a bit of beer, having some nice Argentinian steak, and just enjoying ourselves in the wonderful city of Amsterdam. Now we move into our next phase. The VW T6 was eventually decided we were going to either refit the interior and it was fantastic, or refit the interior to make it so that it was better for someone else to own it, get rid of it. So we started stripping it all out, did it all at home, did it all ourselves, something we had never ever done before. Bought furniture that was totally wrong, that someone that wouldn't help us out with it, and decided that we're just going to try and sort it out ourselves. Fit the flooring, fit all the electrics, and all this, like I say, without any knowledge. But doesn't everyone do that? Isn't it the best way to do it? Just like get stuck in, do it, learn while you're doing it. So yeah, we basically used some of the old appliances like the sink and the hob and the fridge, a few bits and bobs like that. We got a rock and roll bed fitted, and that was obviously something we'd hope would really change the way we'd use the van, because of the other layout was rubbish. And that was a great kind of like step then to get to the point of having the flooring down and the kitchen in, having the bed there, and you can see what's coming along. And then obviously putting the old appliances in and seeing how that's going to all work together. Then we started to obviously put the rest of the furniture in and get stuck in with that one. Put all the electrics in, start fitting all the appliances back in again. Again, learning all sorts of new things about how you're supposed to fit these different types of sockets, and drilling into something that you've just spent 1,500 quid on to make big holes in it to fit something that you're thinking, oh yeah, this is going to be fantastic. So that's what we got stuck into, and that's what we did. And this is a real crucial point, because this is the first time Mandy appeared on camera. So at this point, obviously, we're not kind of vlogging or anything like that. I just thought I'd do this as a series for my other channel. Remember, this channel hadn't even started then. But obviously, Mandy was still a bit like, I don't want to get involved or anything, until this one, the very first van tour, where she started talking about the stool that she'd made for the little Lou. And that was it. That's how basically we got started going and started vlogging what we were doing. The van finished off, you know, it looked fantastic. The interior was really nice. It was done obviously the way we like things, to our spec. But I think a lot of people like what we've done with as well. Although there were a lot of people who said they liked the previous interior as well. So, you know, everyone's got their own kind of taste. But then this was May 2018. And we went out camping a couple of times, and we kind of like thought, you know what, not too sure. So we did one last trip.
Hello, this is us on our way out on our last trip in the van, off down to Stone the Kit Kat Show.
So we did have a great weekend in the van, but ultimately we actually stayed in the hotel on site. So we kind of used the van as a kind of a day van. So we had all our drinks stored in there. We used it to go and sit in during the day while we kind of like watching the cars go by. But ultimately that weekend we just had a lot of fun. If you remember the video, we had a giggly bit of fun on our last trip. But ultimately, you know, still great thing to do if you're ever thinking about going and seeing the Stolen Kit Car Show. All about cars, kit cars. You can go for rides in kit cars like this one now. So did a bit of a drone fly and stuff like that. But yeah, the ultimate thing about the weekend was working out how much our van was roughly now worth, knowing that really we didn't find it that useful. So we found our next van, which is the van we've got right now. And that was basically a panel van conversion, but one done for us. But a fairly base model, even though it's a really nice model, it's a fairly base model. So it'd allow us to make further changes, to make it more something that, you know, we found that we'd travel around Europe and everything else in. So that's how we came to owning the Auto Trail Tribute 670. So we're now in early May, and as you can see, Mandy and I on camera a lot more. Mandy's more confident about being on camera, and we're showing off the van a little bit more, you know, things that we're doing to it and trying to explain the things that we're doing. I've upgraded the electrics in the van as well because it came with a pitiful one USB socket and a 75 amp per hour battery. So I pretty much did my electric makeover for the last van on this one as well. If you haven't watched it, go watch that video. It's quite a popular one. I've then also put some window tints on there as well, just to give us more privacy inside and to keep the heat out during the summer months when you go somewhere nice and warm, obviously not England. And then we did the solar panel upgrade as well. Again, thinking that we're going to be wanting to do more off-grid stuff and just park up wherever we want, whether it's a pub car park or even a campsite. But no need to, you know, sort of like get electric and stuff like that. Just turn up wherever you want. It wasn't the neatest install, but again, you know, it's all about this thing of we've never done this before. And I found it quite all right in the end. You know, pretty decent job done. The only kind of thing that I did at the end of it is I changed the solar controller for the cheap one that came with it to a bit of a better one, more efficient. And it was also, you know, because I'm a gadget man after all, it was also a Bluetooth one as well, which meant I could connect my phone to it to see how the stats were doing, see how its charge was doing, and just generally be, you know, a bit of a geek and a nerd. And this was another bit of a turning point for us as well, because we started to make films about when we went away. So kind of taking a drone away, taking some drone shots, relaxing more, making more of an effort to find the remote locations out of the way of, you know, the vast majority of people, so that you can actually just go and explore the nice countryside and do what you want to do. And then it was time to do our first European trip. Get on the road, get to France, and we were going to follow the Tour de France 2018 through the Alps. And that was just brilliant. Such a great way to get used to the van and get used to it doing everything else you wanted to do. Mandy started doing the majority of all the talk to camera bits and stuff like that, and controlling what was going on, what she was filming and things like that. And it was just, yeah, 2 weeks of enjoying the van, traveling around France, watching the cycling, and just really kind of like getting used to what people do when they follow the Tour de France in a camper van. So you've got spectacular views, pull up wherever you want, find the best spot, and stop there for 2 days. No one seems to care, and just enjoy yourself and chat to people. And then we did some dressing up of the van to make it look a bit more, you know, like we're part of the scene. And then we did some dressing up of ourselves as well. And then it was straight from basically the Highlands of the Alps to the Highlands of Scotland. And we did a tour all around Scotland, the NC 500 and everywhere else we got to. And that was just brilliant, you know, wild camping at the top of the of Balaknabar, and then driving down the road on the way back That was an experience. I'm glad it was summer and not winter or anything like that. And then on to Skye and just kind of like looking around and the lochs and the highlands, and we just so enjoyed ourselves. It was absolutely fantastic. The new van's just so easy to drive, so comfortable, fits everything in that we want it to. Mandy can do all the cooking that she loves to do on the 3 burners and the grill and the oven. Everything works great in this van. But it's not all about the van with us. We got on a plane, we got in a car, we went to San Francisco. We started off a 2-week USA driving trip. So a couple of days in San Francisco, off to Yosemite, having a look around all the amazing, completely awe-inspiring views. Went to SpaceX, see Virgin Galactic. We saw Edwards Air Force Base. We went to Las Vegas. We went over the Hoover Dam, which was something just spectacular again. We went through a little twister, Dirt Devil or whatever, blew across the side of the road. You know, it's exciting anyway. It was really cool. The Grand Canyon, that was just awe-inspiring. Can't even begin to describe it. That was just absolutely fantastic. And then from there went on to Monument Valley, which is equally as spectacular and different, but that was just brilliant too. And then obviously you've got the things that you see on the road, the spectacular old American cars, the people in their RVs pulling all sorts of blinking vehicles on the back, and you think, how much are they getting to the gallon? And then Hollywood, Griffith Observatory, everything we did around there was just brilliant. We went walking along the Hollywood Walk of Fame at night time. Another place we had to visit was Santa Monica Pier, not only because it's the end of Route 66 and we'd use that, but because it's cool as well. Then we stayed in the biggest hotel room we've ever stayed in. It was like the size of our first house. Then it was our epic trip up the Pacific Coast Highway. That was just something I've always wanted to do, Route 1, and the scenery, the clouds, everything was just brilliant about it. It just made it so cool. It was great. Then it was back home and something really spectacular. Get together with other YouTubers and have a weekend away doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Just getting to meet different people, great people, and that was like just something I can't explain it. It just made my year in terms of just meeting fantastic people, so friendly, and they just made our camping experience that weekend. It was just brilliant. And we finished it off more or less, if you watched the last video, just North Wales, our kind of like little stomping ground, walking around, doing a bit of vlogging, buying some little walking boots for Mandy, doing some droning. But ultimately, as you can see, from when we started the year to where it's doing now, Mandy is in control. Mandy's the one that's kind of like leading the conversation throughout the videos. She's controlling what we film. Obviously, I'm doing a bit of droning. I understand a few of you like the drone stuff as well, so that's why we do it. But ultimately, we've kind of like come on this journey with you guys, and every bit of your feedback we take on board. You know, John, don't talk too much in the videos. We want to see more action. We don't want to see you sitting down talking all the time. We want to see what you're doing. We want to see you, you know, a little bit of interaction with you, but just explain where you're going and why. So hopefully you will agree that we have improved. Hopefully you can see that, you know, we really do listen to you guys and really do like love the fact that you get involved. So happy Christmas, everyone. And I hope that 2019 is such a fantastic year for you all. Take care, and we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching, and stick with us. Bye.